Materialists 2025. I saw the trailer a couple of weeks ago and wasn't sure what to expect, but it looked fascinating. And I'm always interested in films that star Dakota Johnson and Pedro Pascal, both actors I really like at the moment. Um, The film starts with a cave people scene. It's like prehistory, it seems, prehistoric dating, you could say. And then it cuts to modern New York City, and the the film is about dating, but as the title suggests, it's also about money. And Dakota Johnson stars as Lucy Mason. She's an actress or former actress. She's become a matchmaker at a company called Adore. And then Pedro Pascal plays Harry Castilla, a wealthy uh, finance tycoon, um, who spots Lucy across a bar, hears her talking about dating, and takes a shine towards her. Then there's Chris Evans, who stars as John, and um, Lucy went out with John before. He's a theatre director and is currently cater waiter. Um, so um, at this Adore place, I mean, you see Lucy walking through the streets of New York. Um, she can see out the corner of her eye when a man takes an interest in her, and she turns back and says, "Hey, are you single? Here's a card for dating," and just hands him a card. And that's the kind of thing she's just spotting someone and recruits, tries to sell the service she works for to them. Um, but it's a really high-powered uh, situation. This Adore. It's like very wealthy, a lot of money involved, and um, because it's so high stakes, as the title suggests, it's all on different scale. I mean, I get the impression that all the costs is talked about in 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 annual salaries. So, I mean, I don't really always understand US salaries. They seem higher than in the UK, but again, in the UK, it might just be that everyone's poorly paid and we need more money because we've got a cost of living crisis and nothing much is affordable. I mean, um, that's my impression. It's especially hard when you don't have a job at all, or you're trying to eke out a living out of very little money. But even people in jobs, so many people who are struggling. I mean, cost of housing is way over the top at the moment. Accommodation costs, supermarket costs, energy costs, train travel, everything seems really out of hand. But in New York, similarly, seems these prices do seem high, but not really that different from London, perhaps. Um, but because these are this is a high ticket agency matchmaking place. Um, the sky high cost means that when they deliver, when they have a match, when they have a wedding, there's a huge celebration and they all gather around, they're all really excited for whoever. And Lucy it's, celebrating her ninth wedding success, and that's where the story really starts because you get to see a dramatic moment where the bride to be is very unhappy. She doesn't want to go through with the wedding, and now that's critical. So Lucy says, "Give me 5 minutes with her alone." And she finds out what's at the bottom of it. And surprise, now I'm not going to say what it is, but I mean, the the bride to be swears, makes her swear, please don't tell anyone for the rest of your life. It's just like, oh, it's that kind of thing. When she does reveal it, it's like so shallow. But then there's so much similarly. Oh my gosh, there's like when there's matches, she picks up calls, Lucy does, early on in the film, and like there's this uh 40 something man who's wanting to date or has been dating early 20 somethings, and it's like icky, I think. I mean, 25-year age gap, late 40s, think 47, 48. I can't remember, but he's this man on the phone is dating someone about 25 years younger than him. And when Lucy suggests maybe a 30 something woman, um, he doesn't accept that. Oh, yeah, he has gone out with the 39-year-old, and she's way too old. I mean, he describes her, the 39-year-old. Her name's Sophie, played by Zoe Winters. But this man says she's fat. That's unbelievable because she isn't. But I mean, the judgment and describes her as 40 because she's 39. And then later, when I think it's the same character, him, this guy, um, someone describes him as 50 something or about 50 because he's 48. So it's just like, so there's this double standard, the way people are. Oh, it's just, unbelievable. I'm just so glad I've got nothing to do with dating, not interested at all. But it just sounds a nightmare. And, just do feel really, I mean, why do people have to date? I mean, what's the point? I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's this people want companionship, and I get that. So, um, but I just find it, I mean, I see things from um, a demi-ace perspective, I suppose. And fine if people often say they don't want to die alone. That's the thing. But one person in a couple, one person's going to die first, so the other person is going to die alone, aren't they? I mean, ideally with family, um, people don't die alone if they're surrounded at their hospital bed by family, but that depends on the circumstances. We have no control over whether we die alone or with others. And half the people in a relationship aren't, by statistical chances, probably are going to be outliving their partner unless they both die at the same time. I don't know. Some are lucky enough to die first, I guess. Half of them maybe. The maths. I mean, the maths comes up quite a lot. Um, Dakota Johnson's character Lucy, she talks about the math. Um, I think John does as well at some point. I mean, yeah, there's counting, as James O'Brien would describe it. There's certain facts, and you can count them, and you can prove things with them. that's where the maths comes in, I think, in that's the allegory of math in this setting. But, you know, the transactional nature of dating just seems devoid of all the things that really matter in life. I mean, to focus all on money, on, missing the trust, the humanity, the compassion. I mean, the whole thing about um, when Lucy does get um, into dating herself, like with Harry and Pedro Pascal's character, and um, whether that works out or not, well, I mean, she does end up in a love triangle because there's interest from John P, Chris Evans' character. So it's uncertain what's going to happen, but the fact that to start with, I wasn't sure, did I even like her because she's got involved in this industry and she realizes that everything is on this numbers game, on the money, on everything. Um, but as the story develops, there's challenges, there's situations that may or may not change things. I mean, I liked the way the pace was. I liked how um, sometimes it almost felt like it was stalling, but it just gave a chance to think, to actually absorb what was happening. And I thought that's that's really good in a modern day film. Where everything happens, like I was saying with Freaky Friday, the last film I reviewed, too much happens, and then I'm just trying to keep on top of it. This was at a pace I could very easily enjoy. Now, there was also a wedding crashing scene at one point, upstate, and I remember the film from, was it about 2005? Um, and and I guess it's more plausible because it involves the catering company. But I did wonder, don't wedding people ask bride or groom? Are you with the not are you the bride or the groom, but are you with the bride's family or the groom's family? And they were neither, but they were enjoying the refreshments and everything, and no one was bothering them. But I did especially like how this film started to resolve, how it did work out. Um, and there were some things about it that there was one crucial thing that was very dramatic, and it was described by the company as a risk that happens. And yes, it's absolutely devastating that if that sort of thing actually does happen. And you can imagine it would, but that makes the whole thing really scary. So, um, there's that element as well. So, but I did feel like there was a genuine narrative, something lovely about this film that I really liked. And my score started climbing because of that. And then the final scene, it's sort of set in what looks like a bar where people are in wedding clothes. And I couldn't quite understand it because there was a bar, a whole bench of seats on one side, and a catering area on the other. And then all these people came and sat down, and even like um, the um, the cave people, I thought, oh yeah, that does make sense. I realised when I talked to my friend, yeah, I get that. Okay, I'm not going to say any more about that. But I thought it was a really good film. I'm going to score it 9.0 out of 10. It was just delightful. I mean, not all the characters were uh, Marion Ireland, who plays Violet, who's Lucy's superior. I mean, in a way, I was a bit reticent about her, but then she seemed a bit more understanding as the film progressed, and, the characters maybe learned. Some of them could learn anyway, or I don't know. It's just like I think films where characters seem to grow feel like, without explaining what the growing is, feel like good films. Any film with a lesson is good, and if it's either the audience or the characters, or thus both sides, audience learning through the characters, um, then it makes it a good film. So 9 out of 10. I'd love to know what you think. Please like if you like this review. Uh, Thanks if you subscribe. Please hit the notification button. I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.